Good morning. It is a beautiful Monday morning here in the Magic City. We're in Miami. I'm Eric Knowles, president of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, and this is our member connection. Last week we had a great conversation with Mr. Leroy Jones talking about NANA and tools for change and the many things that he's been doing in our community. And we jokingly said that we would bring him back. And we actually had the pleasure of bringing Mr. Jones back to talk about some other things that he's doing in the community. It is a beautiful spring day here in Miami. But before we get started, here's a message from our sponsor, our supporter, Jackson Hospital.
My name is Amber Longhorn, and I am the director of Jackson Health Systems Small Business Enterprise Program. Jackson is proud to partner with the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce in bringing you this video series. We hope you'll gain valuable information and tools on doing business in Miami-Dade County, but especially with Jackson Health System. We invite you to visit us online for more information at www.jacksonsmallbusiness.org.
So it's my pleasure, again, having the pleasure of bringing Mr. Leroy Jones on, and he's putting on a different hat today. Our mission is to provide economic and social transformation in our community. And obviously, we spoke about NANA last week and tools for change and the grants, the mom and pop grants, along with the loan program that Tools for Change provides to our small business community. But as I said, we're here also to talk about social transformation. And this brother, like I said, he's the hardest working brother in Miami. He's running Tools for Change. He's running NANA. He runs a school, the Dorothy Bendross Mendengal Learning Center. I'm probably chopped up the name, so he'll correct me on that. But also, this brother is part of the leadership of what is called the Circle of Brotherhood. So I'm going to step out of the way. A couple of years ago, I'm telling you, a year ago, time flies. This brother, along with 8 other brothers, did a hunger strike, bringing awareness to gun violence in our community. And we know how much gun violence continues to plague our community. But I'm going to step back, as I said, and let Leroy. Thank you again for joining us. You didn't get in trouble because the person that we had scheduled actually was scheduled for next week. And so you're good.
Thank you, brother. I don't want no problems. Like I said, I don't want no problems from nobody.
Right. But you're good. So Circle of Brotherhood, it's been around for how long now?
We're going on our 8th year, believe it or not. I've been a part of it for the past, I want to say 6.5, almost 7 years.
Right.
So I'm not an actual founding member of the Brotherhood. I was asked to come in maybe about 1.5 years after it started. But yeah, so it's been around now, probably going on this 8th year.
Right. I remember I became aware of the circle probably, like you said, maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when the announcement of and I remember then Commissioner Edmondson, I think we were at Drew Elementary, introducing Employ Miami-Dade and what the circle was doing and what you were doing. So talk about the circle and what. Go ahead.
So that was at D.A. Dorsey.
That was at right.
Technical College, when the former mayor Carlos Jimenez and Audrey Edmondson and Terry Williams, owner of One United Bank, along with the Circle of Brotherhood and NANA, Career Source South Florida, Dade County Public School, we all launched the Employ Miami-Dade program, which is now in its 6th year. The program been going for 6 years now. We kicked it off there, and it was like standing room only, man. It was packed with people.
I was there, so I remember.
Yeah. So the concept is to take people that live in the 18 poorest underserved districts and have them go through a 30-day work readiness class, and then pick a trade that they want to get a skill set in, like construction, culinary arts, private security, and hospitality, and IT at that time. And after they finish the work readiness class, they can go into one of those skill sets. So they can get a trade and get certified in and get the OSHA card and things like that. So yeah, that program been going really strong with the help of Career Source South Florida, and also Miami-Dade College also
Wow.
plays a role in it. So it's continuing right now. Last year, uh, much didn't happen because of the pandemic, but we gradually cranking it back up this year.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know a lot that was provided. I mean, there were stipends provided for the participants to catch the bus to get to the classes. So
Yes.
a lot of things were put in place so people didn't have excuses.
Yeah. So we was the Circle of Brotherhood was fortunate enough to get the county, the mayor, former mayor Carlos Jimenez, to support us in making it easier for people who don't have any money, so that they couldn't have no excuse of why they couldn't participate. So, of course, part of the package was if they need a bus pass, we can give them a bus pass at no cost. Okay, they will get a stipend in the program. A stipend is a check, so they could get a check for participating in the program if they, come to required days and do what they need to do. Also, clothes. We can send them to Dress for Success in Overtown, and they can get clothes to interview in, to help them prepare for a job. Even the state attorney's office was involved. Like I said, if they wanted the state attorney's office to see if they had any open warrants, bench warrants, anything, any traffic violations or child support issue, they would do it free of charge. And in fact, we've probably successfully got 7 people through this program that had bench warrants that would have went to jail if they would have been pulled over by police. We was able to get them back in court in front of the judge without being arrested, and either get them a different court date, or got the case thrown out. So them being a part of this program, really helped out. So those are some of the things they offered. And when you graduate from the construction class, you get a tool kit, which is a hard hat, a vest, some tools, some steel toe boots to work in, so you can be ready day one with all the tools and equipment you need to start on the job, and your OSHA 10 card. But we also made everybody take a drug test because we wanted to make sure that when we send them on the job, that it don't be no issue with their employer, wanting to screen them or take a drug test. We already done that to them and showed them proof.
No, that's some good stuff, Leroy.
Yeah.
I know, like you said, there's construction, there's culinary, there was IT and a number of other things. So let's segue away from that. Employ Miami-Dade. What else is the Circle of Brotherhood doing in the community?
Wow. So one of our programs now for the past 2 years is called the Peacemakers program, where they've been going out into the community, passing out PPE, also passing out food to families that need food. And when it's a shooting in our community, they own the scene. So they get the calls or they get a message letting them know where shooting has taken place. And if it's a victim or someone hurt, they have the access to get to be there and offer some services to the family. So they can offer them some services to see what they need to help them through that issue that their family just dealt with someone being shot or killed.
Right.
So I think that's beautiful. Like, and we're not trying to be a reactive organization. We're trying to get out front to deal with this pandemic, and deal with the shootings that's taking place, which is also a pandemic, We talk about the pandemic as relates to COVID-19, but this shooting is taking place all over, in our communities from down south to up north. And the Peacemakers program under the Circle of Brotherhood is doing good, reaching out to families, helping them through that difficult situation in their life. So.
Right. And I wasn't gonna go there right now, but since we're talking about the pandemic with the ongoing shootings and killings in our community, you, along with 8 other brothers, had a hunger strike.
Right.
The Hunger 9.
Hunger 9. In fact, this is the shirt.
There you go.
So I see somebody with one of these shirts on almost every day. I go to the grocery store, the gas station, I see this shirt. So 2 years ago, this month, March the 9th, me and 8 other guys
it's 2 years already?
It's 2 years. Yeah, March the 9th make 2 years.
Wow.
We went we decided to go on a hunger strike. Our headquarters was on 62nd Street and 4th Avenue, where the gas station used to be, the first place that got burned down during the Arthur McDuffie rebellion. And we set up 2 tents, and we decided to stay there to bring some awareness about gun violence. And so we slept outside. We made it open where anybody could see us. We didn't want to go there in the daytime and go home at night. And let me tell you, that became a educational ground. I mean, we had people from all over the world come there. It was a different hunger strike. Usually a hunger strike, you see people laying down all day, not moving around, but we was actually up working all day. I mean, we would teach classes from college to high school to elementary school, police cadets, churches came by, people from Parkland, it was so, we must have took 1 million pictures, bro.
Right.
In front of that big billboard we had out there, identifying all our faces who was a part. And also you, man, you came out, and that's where I did my first yoga class right there. And I would say probably 5 or 6 other brothers can say that too. Like, that was their first ever yoga class, bro. And like, when you came, we thought about, man, we ain't 8 and we trying to do yoga, but like that, I think the love and the support that the people shown us made us endure that 21 and a half days. So we went 21 and a half days without eating no food, only water. So no juices, no mineral water, just only straight water for 21 and a half days. And I wouldn't advise nobody to do that. But if anybody think it's easy, let them try. Okay? Let them try. If they think it's easy, let them try. But I wouldn't recommend nobody do it. But let me tell you, it affected each one of us differently. And for me, believe it or not, those 21 and a half days, 20 days, don't count the half, I probably slept the best I've slept in my life. And maybe because it was outside, fresh air, but I mean, I would sleep through the night, and it broadened my thinking ability. So it taught me how to process things better. And of course, I didn't eat meat at the time. I ate meat in years, so it did nothing physically to my body other than me losing 31 pounds. So I lost 31 pounds in the 21 and a half days. But we went there, to educate the community about gun violence, and we became the teachers and the students. Because when you have, people coming all through the day, it got so bad to so many people was coming, like we had to limit, we had to close the gate. We had brothers had to keep people from outside so that we can get some rest, because we was constantly up and down, teaching classes, explaining to people about gun violence, taking pictures. Everybody wanted to take a picture with us. And like, we wasn't doing that thinking that was going to stop gun violence. Like, gun violence, it's a plague in our community, it's a culture right now, believe it or not. That's how the young people see it. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to bring awareness about it so that people can ask questions and people can be more concerned, and to watch when your sons come in the house, look at them, go in their room, make sure they ain't got nothing in there they don't supposed to have. And your daughters too right now. So, but that was an experience like, like, like I never imagined it would be. It was gratifying because of the cause, but it was tough mentally. And I think we was able to endure that long because it was 9 of us. And so we had a brother in there that was very religious. We had a brother that can build things. So we built our own man-made shower. We had a brother in there that was a comedian. So he kept us laughing. So everybody that went in there for a purpose, and went in there, we needed, each 9 of us was needed to be there for our own reasons. We had Ed Haynes, which is a security guy. So, and my role is the organizer. So it was organized so great that nobody knew we was doing it.
Right.
It was only maybe 20 brothers in the whole brotherhood and throughout the whole community that knew we was doing it, because we didn't want the word to get out. And we wanted to be a surprise to people, and we want the community to wake up and see us there. That way we wouldn't go through no resistance from anybody not wanting us to do it or to be there. Of course, our wives know and girlfriends know, because we had a conversation with them. Not all the brothers are married, but our family knew. But other than that, like, it was a hush thing. You just woke up one morning and we was there.
Right, and like you said, it had to really be tough because most people couldn't go 3-4 days without eating and just drinking water. And here you are going 20-21 days, but not just the fact that you were on the hunger strike. Like you said, you were dealing with the interviews of world news from around the world. I remember one day there was some folks from Sweden and all, like I said, all around the world. It wasn't just local. And so, kudos and props to you brothers for that. Like you said, you knew you weren't going to stop gun violence, but it was about bringing awareness and like you said, having parents really check on their sons, what they're doing, and going in their rooms and making sure that they're not bringing things in there that they shouldn't be doing.
And let me tell you, brother, like, we planned this. Right, this came from a meeting. Tangela Sears was having a march, and so we marched with her. She asked us to come, for security. We marched with her and the ladies. We marched with them from Mount Calvary Church on 62nd to Pecosi Park. Man, there was so many ladies that was out there, and they was crying. But if you want to see something sad, listen to 30, 40, 50 women crying because all of them lost a child to gun violence. But what sparked me too, what really touched me was more than just the women crying. There was one young brother there named Blaze Carter, who lost his son, 6 years old. Innocent bystander got shot, got killed. Like, he was talking so loud to that. He wasn't screaming, but his voice was so loud that I can hear his voice go through my body. Like, that bothered me. Like, that really bothered me. Like, he was talking and not screaming, but it was so strong that, like, and I was maybe 30, 40 feet away from him, but I can feel his vibration of his voice go through my body. And as we was walking back, I was telling brothers, like, we gotta do something different. And out of that came the Hunger 9. And
wow,
like, that was like I never will forget that. Forget his voice. And like, we losing too many children for nonsense, man. And I'll tell you, me and the Brotherhood, like, we step up and we say that we was a part of the problem. Some of this stuff that's happening now, like, could have curbed if our life was better, if we lived it better.
Well, that's the place where I want to go. That's where, and I know you're a busy man, and I'm not going to keep you too long today, but that's the next place I want to go. Like you said, a lot of you all are, I wouldn't say to blame, but that's what you're saying. You're to blame for a
I'm
lot
I'm
of,
I'm saying to blame. I'm
yeah,
saying to blame because look, man, I went to prison. I left my children out here without a father,
right,
without a father figure. You know, and in my era, you know, the guys around my age or a little older, a little younger, like we was the guys that was causing the problems in the neighborhood. We
right.
was the guys, you
So
know, and eventually we all went off to prison and we left our children here and our girlfriends and wives here unmanaged. You know, any community, if you look at any community, you know, that have strong men, strong leadership, the community don't have problems like we have problems. We have all these problems because we left our children here. And
and that
so we bear a lot of that responsibility. Let's
absolutely.
just be straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going again in terms of what the Circle of Brotherhood, what you stand for, and it is about bringing men back to the community. Because I know you work a lot with returning citizens, men who have been in prison, and trying to help them get back on their feet. But the other side of that is understanding that our community is hurting because of the men who are missing, and I know that is a big part of your message.
So since I've been home, I've been doing my very best in my all in trying to correct the wrongs that I've done. Some might say, you know, I've succeeded and overdone that with all the things I've done. But to me, I think I'll never be able to repair it. And so I tell my sons that they're way better fathers than I am because none of them have ever went off to prison or jail to leave their children like I did. And all of them knew, and even though I knew where my children was, but I wasn't there to touch them and to show them a good example. And so the money was there to make sure that they didn't need, you know, money, but the love and the support wasn't there. And so that's something I can't get back. And so I try my very best to pass that on to my grandchildren. So I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren. I take them places. I spend all kind of crazy money on them. And where I can't make it up for my children, I can do a much better job with their children. And my job is to make sure that I leave them with something. Where they don't, if they don't, if I can't, you know, do everything I can to repair the damage with my own children, at least I won't have that damage with their children. And the love from their children will still be strong through them, through my children. And so me and the guys in the brotherhood, like we welcome. We're not out trying to force guys or make guys to be a part of our group. All we ask men to do is to be a part of some group in their neighborhood that's trying to make a difference. Now, are we all going to agree on the same way how to do it? No. But I say this all the time. Anybody that's trying to make a difference, even if I don't agree with their approach, I respect them to the utmost. But people that just sitting around talking, pointing fingers, blaming, not doing nothing, you know, they need to step up. But people who doing something, I don't care if I agree with their method or not. But if they, to them, that's the right way for them. I got none but love and respect for them. So you ain't gonna see me player hating on no group or no individual. You gonna hear me downplay, down talk nobody, you know, because I'm staying focused, you know, and I'm just trying to get done and I ain't trying to compete with nobody. Circle of Brotherhood is a beautiful, great example of men coming together, trying to make a change in our community. And we're not going to do it overnight because the damage is so deep and it's not going to change overnight. But inch by inch, you know, one day at a time. And, you know, if start with changing one brother to 100 brothers to 200 brothers, and we see the numbers climbing and we see more brothers getting involved and we seeing more brothers being active and doing positive things that gonna be great role models for our community, and their children and their family.
The one thing that we always talk about in the circle, as you said, these are brothers coming together, and it's from, as they say, from the streets to the suites.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got brothers in our group that done did double-digit numbers in prison, and we got brothers in the group ain't never seen the back of a police car. That's 40, 50, 60 years old, never been handcuffed. We got brothers in the group that doing very, very good, and we got brothers that just got minimum wage jobs. But one thing, every guy in the group now, I'm proud to say that is capable of working or running a business are doing that. They either working or running a business or both.
Right.
So we don't have one guy in our group that's not productive. And we got a couple of guys that that get Social Security because they're disabled. But other than that, if they're able, we don't have one in the group. I'm very proud to say that.
Yeah.
That we are an organization of change and progress. And I talked a little bit about last time, like we insured all the guys in our group. We put an insurance policy on every guy in our group. They can pick who they want to be the beneficiary. We ain't doing it to make money. We doing to make sure that if something happened to them, they're not a burden on their family.
Right.
So now if that ain't stepping up to the plate, I don't know what is. That's stepping up.
I mean, Leroy, the work that you and the Brotherhood is doing, I'm gonna get a little silly. I'm gonna get a little silly. So I heard about a best dress contest.
Oh.
So one thing about the circle, we have fun.
So a few years ago, we thought about taking guys out of the neighborhood and taking them away from this environment so that they can experience life in a different way. But not only experience life in a different way, but to also learn how to love and bond each other. So we came up with this annual retreat that we do, that we take brothers in the group and we go on a trip, on a cruise. And some people may see it as if we're going to have fun, but we're going to have fun and to learn and bond with each other. So while we're there, and you can vouch for it, that we make brothers get up 7 o'clock in the morning and they go to class all day.
Absolutely.
And they taking notes and they writing down information. And we got brothers speaking on different topics. So we're there to learn to bond with each other, to learn our strengths and weaknesses, right? To know what we need to do better when we get back to help change our community. And we have this competition that we started for the best dress competition, and man, all I got to say is brothers that be involved in that, man, like I'm so proud of how they put themselves together and they show the talent, how nice they can dress. And it's all men in the competition. It's just the men that's in our group. And it's so much fun and relaxing. And like we go there because it's peaceful. We don't worry about the phones ringing, people brothers being distracted by the phones or people coming to our house. We just there, man, bonding and loving on each other. Like to me, like when you take a brother out of this environment, and you take him on a cruise, and he's never been on a ship. And I'll give you one experience. This one brother lived in Overtown all his life, goes on a cruise, and he stepped to me and he asked me, how did they put an elevator on a ship? And that lets me know that this brother, Brains, has a lot to demand and admire. So if it's something that small, where he never experienced it, and you watch him come back and be a whole different person, like it's amazing what 3 days, you going somewhere for 3 days could do for you, into your body, your mind. When you open it up and you experience things that you never had experienced. So I think to me the joy is. And I think sometimes, like, I say this sometimes to the guys, that's probably gonna be the greatest thing I ever done, is the cruise thing, because I get to watch guys who never experienced that kind of atmosphere or be a part of that, go away and then come back a different person, man, because they seen life in a different way. They get to talk to people from all over the world. They get to see Black people doing business with Black people. They get to experience that. Once they pay for it, everything is free. They don't have to bring no money if they don't need no money. You know, like they can eat as much as they want. You know, you know, enjoy themselves and relax. Don't think about Miami. For 3 days. So we enjoy that, man, because of the love and the camaraderie that we have with each other and bonding. So it's strictly about the bonding and the love and what we're going to do to get back. And of course, the brothers who be in that best dress competition trying to win a couple of dollars and try to show that they can dress the best. So it's going to be on this time. So I just can see some brothers landing on the ship in the spaceship this time. Because last year was some next level stuff, bro. Like, I ain't getting in it. I don't even know how to walk in the suit. So you don't have to worry about me getting it. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. I ain't getting in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna hold back, and I'm not gonna say nothing.
Go on and say something, because I'm sure some other brothers on the line watching what you're saying, and when we get on this line, the phone's gonna be going off. So you already know.
So all I got to say, they better
be ready.
Well, Leroy, I said I wasn't going to keep you that long, but when we get to start talking, this conversation, like I said, we could talk for the rest of the day. In particular, talking about the Circle of Brotherhood and all the work that you do and all the brothers do. Brother Ed Haynes and Killer and I mean the list could, let's say chicken hearts.
So brother, our leadership is a prime example of us doing great things. We got Pastor Jeffrey Mack, pastor of his own church, that's the president of our group. We got Anthony Tate, pastor too, as well, is our secretary. We got Pastor Davis, Mike Davis, which is our vice president. And then we got Chris Sweden, which is our treasurer. And of course, our beloved brother Lau Muhammad, which is our executive director. So we got a great leadership component. I'm just a little lead organizer, So I sit back and I'm a spring puller because I got the relationship. So, but I'm just thankful that these brothers, asked me to come in and be a part of this great organization. And like I said, all the time, like, you don't have to join the Circle of Brotherhood, but join some group or create your own group that can do great things in the community. And I promise you, when you get your time and your money back, that it'll pay off. You reap what you sow, and you put in what you'll get out of it. So I always close by thanking the community for dusting this old boy off, giving him another shot at life, and allowing me to prove that I can be far greater than what I never knew I could be. And like, I ain't in competition with nobody. I ain't competing with nobody. I ain't trying to make nobody look bad. I'm just trying to do what I do to pay back for some of the harm I did, coming up. And nobody to blame for it, because everything I did, I knew what I would do. So ain't nobody responsible but mine. So I want to thank the chamber for this opportunity. I hope you all listeners got something out of it.
No, thank you.
They're welcome to come by the Dr. Dorothy Bendroff Social and Economic Institute. That's the right name. 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue. That's where we're
at. 5120 Northwest 24th.
5120 Northwest 24th Avenue. It's in Brownsville.
Yeah.
It's the old corporate academy.
If you want to learn more about what's happening with the Circle of Brotherhood, or want to stop in and get some information on NANA or Tools for Change, that's where they are. 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue. Leroy, what's the phone number if they want to get in touch?
So they can call us directly. My cell phone number is 786-426-6263, or they can go on the Circle of Brotherhood, Miami.org, get more information.
Okay.
Eric, in closing, I want to say that I want to thank brothers like you, Rick Beasley, Leighton Brown, Cornelius,
Neil Shiver.
Neil Shiver. I want to thank all you brothers that's in leadership positions, man, that has come in and helped, with structuring these brothers, that need a little structuring because they watch y'all and they know y'all leadership ability. They learning from that. So I want to thank you brothers for coming around, and helping out and playing a part, and being a part of this great organization, man, because the future is bright for us. And know that it's all love for our community.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
Well, Leroy, you always hear me say, "But for the grace of God, brother."
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
we all fall short.
Fall short. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So this is great. I appreciate you. Love you, brother.
Love you too, brother. Love you with all that's in me, bro. And I can't wait for that best dress competition. Can't wait, brother.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you too, brother. I love all the brothers in the brotherhood, man. Thank you. Thank you all for allowing me to be a part of it.
Yes, sir. You're doing such great work. And so if you want to get in touch with the chamber, go to www.m-dcc.org, or you can call the chamber at 305-751-8648. Like I said, Leroy and I could talk all day about the great works that he's doing in our community. As he says, he's not in competition with anyone. It's about all of us working in our various silos and things that we do, but working together to improve the lives of everybody in our community. A lot of work needs to be done, and it can't be done unless men and women come together. And I just thank you for all that you continue to do, and all the brothers that are in the circle. And those of you who wonder how you can get involved, here's an opportunity for you to get involved. It is a Circle of Brotherhood, ladies. And I'll say this: there are no women in the Circle of Brotherhood. It's about bringing our men back to our community so they build our community. So if you have a young man or a uncle or a cousin or a brother or a husband that you feel that can use some of this support and, as Leroy say, camaraderie, so we can build one another up. We're going to get back to our yoga classes on Sunday mornings, and we were doing yoga pretty much every Sunday after the hunger strike, and then COVID stepped in, so we had to stop. But we're going to get started on that again. So once again, Leroy, thank you so much, man. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm glad you said that to the sisters. Like, it ain't like we don't want the sisters to be a part of what we're doing, but the men, we are the problem. So we have to straighten ourselves out first. So let us do what we need to do to straighten ourselves up so we can be better men for our communities. That's where we at. We got to now start toting the water. You all been toting the water. The women, the sisters in our community been toting the water too long. Now it's time for us to step up, get them a break, and tote the water like we should be doing. That's all it's about.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Love, brother.
Love, brother. Now you about to make me cry today.